How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with a little bit of mystery, courtesy of my boy Max. Yeah, little mystery beers up in his piece. He tossed off a couple two-tree mystery beers. And yeah, these dark ones at the beginning. Yeah, this is all the darkness. The darkness? God, stutters. Belong to us, because that thing is ridiculously dark. I mean, I say motor oil sometimes, but this one is like that upper echelon, super high gravity. The head is almost as dark as the body kind of darkness. Label-wise, you have that beautiful kind of Disney, a little bit of Mickey action, kind of wrapping paper. So, I mean, this has to be some kind of bonkers level Imperial Stout. If it's not, I'm not sure what is. Let's see if I can get a nose on it. It's not super impactful in the nose, though. It's actually quite nice. It smells like there's cherries involved. It smells like there's a nice roasted malt to it, but there's a nice sweet and bittering side to both ends of that kind of a malt bill. Yeah, not super aggressive. A cool nutty characteristic to the malt too, very much like a hazelnutty thing. So I think the cherry is just coming from that kind of Imperial Stout, Russian Imperial Stout kind of vibe. When you get these kind of soft cherry notes from time to time. Let's see, cheat a little bit. Let's see if we can grab a date on this sucker. I don't know. I have no idea what the hell this is. Yeah, dating wise. So anyway, you guys can figure it out. You can cheat a little bit before I actually dive into it if you know what beer that is. So yeah, it smells like a really nice big Imperial Stout with a nice nutty characteristic. Almost to the point where I think there might be hazelnut added to this. Let's just dive right in. Cheers. That's fucking delicious. God damn, that's really good. This is somebody's Russian Imperial Stout for sure. There's got to be an added sweet component to it. Oh, unless it's super under attenuated. There's a nice big roasty maltiness, giving you a nice pop of bittering. I think there's an addition of hops that kind of brings it along too, and they kind of marry together all really, really nicely. There's a big sweetness to it, and like I said, could be an under attenuated thing, but for how dark this is and how rich this beer is, I think it's just a big old beer that's quite sweet, but I wouldn't put it past having some kind of added sweetness to it, whether it be lactose or vanilla. I don't think it's vanilla. Might be lactose, or it could just be a lot of like dextrose or something like that. I think it's deceptively drinkable. I still think we're in the double digits. We're probably 11, give or take, but it kind of doesn't drink that harshly. It doesn't drink that sharply. It has a nice kind of rounded edge to it. That's why I wanted to look at the bottom, see if it had some time on it. Yeah, what are we going to call this? I'm just going to go with somebody's version of a Russian Imperial Stout that is going to say in the can higher. It's actually going to say in the can that it's going to be like 14%, but it's probably in all reality closer to like 10 to 11. Under attenuated, extra sweetness to it. That's it. I really want to say like, okay, hazelnuts involved, something like that, but I think it's a core 4 beer. That added sweetness is really what's kind of keeping me out of that. But I'm just going to say it. It's a core 4 beer because it really does shine in all the core 4 areas of the beer. The biggest outlier to that is that sweet component and that slightly kind of nuttiness to the maltiness. That is really hard to achieve at what I assume is a high ABV beer. But I'm just going to say it's just a core 4 under attenuated, somebody's Russian Imperial Stout. Like I said, it's probably closer to like 10-11%, but it's probably 13-14 on the can. Done and done. Let's see how wrong I am. Probably like hazelnut lactose stout with macadamia nuts and all kinds of other stuff. So we have, I didn't fucking say it. I didn't know it was this beer, but I was like, this is probably a Nightmare Brewing beer because of how sweet it was, and I didn't fucking say it. So 15.1, so it was a big beer. Imperial Stout with coconut, almond, lactose, Madagascar, vanilla, and aged Ecuadorian cacao. So, you know, all the things that I said weren't in there were actually in there, which is kind of funny. Maybe you should just stick with your gut. It kind of makes sense. Listen, it does have this level of chocolate that's really cool, so I can get down with that cacao. The actual lactose and vanilla, it's not overly lactose or overly vanilla, but there was that added sweet portion of the show. Obviously, it has fucking almond in it because I even fucking said almond, but I walked myself back off of that. Man, Madagascar vanilla, and yeah. That's funny. 15.1. This is not 15.1. I'm telling you right now, if this were sent out to be independently tested, this would be closer to 10 and 15. There is zero doubt in my mind. I would bet every penny I have that this comes way closer to 10% than it does 15. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Man, why didn't I just say it? And I could have owned it. I could have went the other direction going, no, those things that I'm talking about are in there. Why would I fucking say them if they weren't fucking in there? That's the thing. When you start to overthink yourself sometimes in these Imperial Stouts, sometimes it just kind of, you know, goes that way. You just kind of talk yourself back off what you're kind of initially feeling. Yeah, shouldn't have done that here. So, big old failo on this one. But enough, and here's me trying to talk myself into being correct in some form or fashion, is that I said everything on here except for cacao. But I talked myself out of every other motherfucking thing. Well, coconut. There's no fucking coconut in this. I'm telling you right now, so. It's too sweet. It's too sharp. If there's coconut in there, you're not getting it. So there you go. Yes. It's an under-attenuated 11% to 10% Imperial Stout with a whole bunch of stuff that I thought wasn't in there, but I thought was in there at the same time. There you go. What are you going to do? Let's talk about it. It's one of the better stouts I've had as of late. Adjunct stouts. It's just a little bit too sharp for me in the way that sweetness comes off. But I really did like the way the kind of nut and the kind of how it drank easy, even though it was sharp in the sweetness. It was kind of a fun beer and that thing. So it's worthy being in a conversation, just not towards the top. Baguette availability is Nightmare Brewing. I assume all of it hits distro. I assume this is probably $20 a 4-pack, give or take. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like Nightmare Brewing stouts, if you like your stouts to skew really sweet, their beers across the board skew infinitely sweet. So I wouldn't even trust the ABV level on any of their beers because all their beers are so infinitely under attenuated that yeah, this is it's gonna excite a lot of people who are into pastry stouts. But I think if you're just looking for, well, I was gonna say if you're looking for a nice, well done Imperial Stout, you might not like this. But if you pick up this can and go, it's 15% and it has coconut and almond, lactose and vanilla and cacao in it. I want an easy drinking stout. You'd be an asshole to buy it because that's not what you're going to get based off the label. So maybe I'm a jerk for thinking I want it to be more what I like rather than it being what it wants to be. So if you like these kind of beers, you'll like that. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Nightmare Brewing. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.